Before we dive in, drop a comment with the city you're watching from. Let's see where the story travels. He was just flipping through radio stations when a forgotten melody stopped him cold. Donald Trump listened, and what it stirred sparked a journey he never saw coming. That single song uncovered a truth that changed his purpose, and it might just move you too. The Trump Tower penthouse was a cocoon of quiet under a Wednesday midnight sky, Manhattan's skyline twinkling faint beyond the vast windows. Donald Trump sat alone in his study, a glass of water sweating on the oak desk, the city's hum muted by thick glass. At 79, he'd carved a life louder than most: towers, campaigns, a name that echoed across decades. But tonight, the weight of years pressed heavy, restless, like a deal left unsigned. He wasn't looking for meaning, just a distraction, when he flicked on the old radio by his chair, a relic from his father's office, its dial glowing soft amber. Static crackled, stations blurring, talk shows, pop, a preacher's drone, until a melody broke through, clear and haunting, a folk song, slow and lilting. The water is wide, I cannot get o'er. His hand froze, breath catching. The voice was a woman's, soft, woven with strings, but it wasn't hers that hit. It was his mother's, Mary, humming that same tune in their queen's kitchen, her hands kneading dough, her eyes warm, distant, carrying Scotland's lilt. He hadn't heard it in 60 years, maybe more, but it landed, steady, raw, a memory he'd buried under gold and grit. He leaned closer, the radio's hum pulling him back, Bayside, 50s, Friday dinners, Mary's voice hushing his chatter, Fred's gruff nod across the table. The water is wide, she'd sung it soft, teaching him, Claire, his brothers, that life was deep, not just big. He'd rolled his eyes then, dreaming towers, power, a name nobody'd forget. Now, at 79, it pierced, her melody of vow he'd ignored, build a boat that will carry two, small, real, about lifting others, not just self. His chest tightened, not guilt, not regret, but a pull, like a contract he'd never signed. The song faded, a DJ's voice cutting in, rare spin tonight, old Scottish folk, from WNYC's archives. That was The Water is Wide, tied to a music school up in Inwood, Mary McLeod's old haunt. Trump's breath caught Mary McLeod, his mother's name, her maiden name, a piece of her he'd shelved, chasing louder. Inwood, a New York nook, Scottish roots, her stories of helping their soup kitchens, church halls, quiet giving. He tuned it out, gold was king, but now the radio's hum lingered, her voice in the melody, whispering worth more than any deal. He grabbed his phone, texting Lila, his assistant, Inwood Music School, Mary McLeod tied to it. Check it, quiet. She replied fast, despite the hour, your mom? Random, done. He smirked, setting the phone down, the letterless desk bare but heavy. Claire's silence stung. His granddaughter, 24, out west, no reply to his calls. Barren, deep in tech, drifting, another voicemail unanswered. And both shall roam, my love and I. He'd built big, Trump Tower, the White House, but love, lifting? He'd missed it, left small behind. He stood, pacing to the window, Manhattan cold, sharp. The radio crackled, static now, but Mary's hum stayed. Friday dinners, her eyes teaching quiet, Fred's deals second to her heart. He'd chased his dad's path, grit, gold, but her song, The Water is Wide, was deeper, a call to carry others, not just win. Inwood pulled some school, her shadow, a piece he didn't know but needed. He hadn't planned it, no agenda, just a melody, but it burned, raw, steady, a truth he couldn't dodge. The door creaked, Melania stepping in, robe loose, her call done. You're up late, she said, voice warm, eyes sharp. Radio woke you? Nah, he said, nodding at it, still glowing. Song, mom's song, The Water is Wide. Heard it, stirred me up. Inwood, her old spot, music school. Pulling me. She sat beside, peering at the radio, her smile faint but deep. Mary's song loved her humming. She saw you, big heart, not just name. What's it saying? Dunno, he said, honest, water glass cool in his hand. Says I built loud towers, campaigns. Missed her, small, real. Claire, barren, no calls. Like I lost chasing big. You're finding, she said, firm, squeezing his arm. Song's her, calling you back. Inwood's real, go see. See, he echoed, smirking rough. The water is wide. The radio sat quiet, but Mary's melody lingered, steady, worth more than gold. He'd meant to rest, sleep it off, but Inwood burned, a school, her heart, hope he hadn't known. Claire, barren, could he lift them? He didn't know, not yet, but the song was a vow, raw, real, whispering louder than any deal he'd closed. He texted Mike, Inwood tomorrow, morning, quiet. Mike shot back, song guy now? Sunk. Trump chuckled, slipping to the couch, Melania close. The skyline glittered, cold, sharp, but Inwood called, Mary's hum, a school's shadow, small, steady. He'd go no plan, just her voice, and for once, that was enough, worth everything he'd chase next. The Trump Tower penthouse was hushed under a Thursday morning glow, Manhattan's skyline shimmering faint beyond the vast windows. Donald Trump sat at his breakfast table, the old radio silent now, but the melody of the water is wide still looping in his head, Mary's hum weaving through his thoughts like a thread he couldn't cut. A day had passed since he'd heard it crackle through the static, felt his mother's voice soft, steady, Scottish, pull him back to Bayside's quiet nights. At 79, he'd built a life that roared, towers, campaigns, a name carved deep, but that song, her song, had stirred something small, real, a vow he'd ignored for decades. Today, he'd chase it, no plan, just Inwood's shadow calling. He sipped his coffee, black and sharp, the penthouse humming Melania in the next room, packing for a charity lunch, Barron's absence a quiet ache. Yesterday's radio lingered, Mary McLeod's old haunt. The DJ had said, tying it to an Inwood music school, a place his mom had helped in her youth, giving without show. He'd brushed her stories off then, gold was king, Fred's deals his guide, but now, at 79, they landed heavy, her hum a call to lift, not just win. Claire's silence nagged, his granddaughter, 24, West Coast, no reply to his texts. Barron, lost in tech, another voicemail unanswered. The water is wide. Had he carried them? Built a boat for two? He'd missed it, chasing loud. The phone buzzed Lila, his assistant, with a morning update. Inwood School, McLeod Music Academy, old, struggling. Closing soon, funds dry. You okay? He typed back, fine, dig deeper, history, quiet. She replied, your mom's school? Hooked, done. He smirked, setting the phone down, the table bare but heavy. Mary's voice came back, quiet's where you find yourself, Friday dinners, her eyes hushing his fire, teaching small over Fred's grit. He'd chased his dad's path power, deals, but her song was deeper, steady, whispering worth more than any tower. Melania's heels clicked, her bag slung over her shoulder, eyes warm but sharp. Still with that song, she said, pausing by the table, her smile faint but deep. Yeah, he said, nodding at the radio, cold now. Mom's the water is wide. Inwood School, her place, music, closing. Stirring me? Bad. She sat across, setting her bag down, peering at him. Mary's heart loved her songs. She saw you, big, but kind. What's it doing? Dunno, he said, honest, coffee cooling. Says I built loud towers, campaigns. Missed her, small, real. Claire, barren, no answers. Like I lost chasing big. You're hearing, she said, firm, squeezing his hand. Song's her, calling you home. Inwood's real, go find it. Find it, he echoed, smirking rough. And both shall row. Mary's hum lingered, steady, worth more than gold. He'd meant to shrug it off, dive into meetings, but inward burned a school, her shadow, hope he didn't know but craved. Claire, Baron, could he reach them? He didn't know, not yet, but the song was a vow, raw, real, pulling him north. The door buzzed, Lila, early, tablet glowing. Morning, Donald, she said, stepping in, her eyes catching the radio. Inwood's got you, school's rough, closing next month. Mary helped it, 40s soup, kids, music. You going? Yeah, he said, standing, letterless but heavy. Found Mom's song, The Water is Wide. Stirred me, school's hers, feels mine. Lila's eyebrow raised, nodding slow. Hers? That's deep, usually you're the quake. Claire call. Nah, he said, throat tight. Texted, nothing. Baron too busy, drifting. Trying feels like shouting, no echo. Keep shouting, she said, softer, tapping her screen. Inwood's small, hurting, like you said. Funds could save it, quiet, no press. You in? Maybe, he said, smirking faint. Check it, jobs, teachers, no noise. Done, she said, heading out, door clicking shut. He grabbed his coat, texting Mike. Inwood now, quiet. Mike shot back, song guys sunk, rolling. Trump chuckled, slipping the radio's memory into his mind. Mary's hum, Inwood's call, small, steady, worth chasing. The sedan wove through Manhattan, Midtown fading, Inwood rising, narrow streets, Irish pubs, Scottish bakeries nodding to old roots. The MacLeod Music Academy stood on a corner, brick faded, windows taped, assigned lessons, all ages half peeled. He stepped out, air crisp with leaves, the building small but stubborn, like Mary's grit. The door was locked, but a side gate creaked open, leading to a courtyard, piano keys painted on cracked pavement, a mural of fiddles fading. He moved slow, footsteps crunching, the silence thick, not empty, full of ghosts. A woman appeared, 40s, red hair loose, scarf bright, carrying a violin case. Her eyes narrowed, cautious but warm. Hey, you lost? School's closed, nobody comes. Not lost, he said, hands up, voice low. Donald, my mom, Mary MacLeod, helped here, 40s. Heard her song, pulled me. Her eyebrow shot up, studying him, no flash, just a man, but familiar. Mary MacLeod? You're Trump. Yeah, he said, nodding slow, pulling the song's weight from memory. The water is wide, hers. School's closing, wanted to see. She softened, stepping closer, violin case down. Fiona teach here, or did. Mary's name's legend helped kids, soup, songs. Closing next month, funds gone. You, saving it. Dunno, he said, honest, looking at the mural fiddles, hope. Mom's song stirred me. Worth saving. Everything, Fiona said, eyes fierce. Kids play, violin, drums dream here. Brighton's rough, school's light. You serious? Serious, he said. Mary's hum burning, carry too. Start small, funds, teachers, talk to me. Fiona's mouth twitched, a half smile. Trouble, good kind. Okay, Donald, show me. They stood, courtyard still, her violin case of vow, Mary's shadow, in Wood's heart, worth lifting. He didn't know how, not yet, but the song held, steady, real, whispering louder than any deal he'd closed. The MacLeod Music Academy stood weathered, but defiant under a Friday morning mist, its faded brick catching Inwood's soft light, the hum of a distant violin seeping through taped windows. Donald Trump stepped from the sedan. The memory of the water is wide, humming steady in his mind. Mary's voice, warm, Scottish, guiding, woven into his thoughts. 2 days since he'd walked its courtyard with Fiona, 3 since the song cracked him open on that midnight radio, and its call, small, real, lifting, had rooted deeper, raw, and unshakable. At 79, he'd built a life that thundered, Towers, campaigns, a name carved wide, but Inwood's grit, Fiona's fire, had tethered him here, pushing him to carry, not just chase. Today, he'd dig in, not just see, but build. Mike parked a block over, Secret Service light, blending into Inwood's morning churn. No sweater today, just a gray jacket, jeans, a man slipping easy into a quiet nook. The street pulsed, kids hauling backpacks, a bakery's scones scenting the air, stoops worn by stories. He'd come alone again, telling no one, not Melania, who'd smiled last night, saying you're rowing now, not barren, still silent despite another text. The academy sign lessons, all ages peeled further, but its bones held, like Mary's hope, steady, worth saving. He crossed the courtyard, piano keys faded on cracked pavement, and pushed the side door, the air shifting polish, dust, a faint note of rosin. The lobby was dim, Fiona's mural, fiddles, flutes half cleaned, a ladder leaning nearby. She stood by a piano, tuning strings, her red hair loose, scarf bright. A man, 70s, wiry, kilted, polishing a clarinet, looked up, eyes sharp. Fiona spotted him, grin breaking wide. Donald back so soon? Thought big shots sleep in. He smirked, nodding at the piano. Told you, serious. Place hums, your fire. Fires us, she said, laughing, waving him over. Meet Angus, soul of the school. Angus set the clarinet down, handshake firm, accent thick, Glasgow's lilt, like Mary's. Heard you're Mary McLeod's boy, helped here, 40s, soup, songs. I'm Angus, taught pipes, gave cash till it ran dry. You saving her school. Trump's chest tightened, her school. Trying, he said, honest, pulling a chair. Mom's song, the water is wide, hit me. School's closing, want it open. What's it need? Angus's eyes glinted, sizing him up. Strings, horns, kids need tools, not just walls. Teachers, good ones, paid fair. Heat's shot, winter's coming. Got that? Got it, Trump said, jotting mental notes. Strings, teachers, heat. Tools, pay done. Tell me more. Fiona grinned, tuning paused. Angus is Inwood, born here, stayed. Knows every kid tough, big heart. Tough's life, Angus said, shrugging, polishing again. School was hope, violins, pipes, kids dreamed. Closed slow funds bled out. You serious? Dead serious, Trump said, meeting his eyes, song humming, carry two. Mom started, my turn. Name it, heat, horns, real stuff. Angus nodded, slow, like he saw past the name. All right, show it. Kids need music, lifts them. They walked halls, classrooms bare, a stage with curtains torn but sturdy. Fiona pointed, violin room, drum space, a job board pinned with hope's piano teacher wanted, choir lead. Locals applying, she said. Your funds, Lila's fast. Heat's coming, teachers too. Trust's tricky, Inwood's burned. Prove it. Proving's me, Trump said, smirking rough. Trust, hard for me too. Families drifting, Claire, barren, no calls. Like I'm rowing, no shore. Fiona's eyes softened, steady. Row harder, they hear, even faint. You're here lifting. Means something. He grunted, surprised, means something. Deep for a violin gal, he said, grinning. Inwood's deep, she shot back, laughing. Stick, learn the tune. Angus joined, clarinet gleaming. You got kids? He asked, voice low, eyes sharp. Yeah, Trump said, throat tight. Grandkid Claire, 24, West Coast. Son barren, tech busy. Tried calls, texts, nothing. Feels I missed chasing loud. Chasing's human, Angus said, nodding. Mine's far, Scotland, no talk. Sang to too late. You're early, sing on. Trump's chest caught, sing on. Deep for a piper, he said, smirking faint. In woods deep, Angus said, grinning rough. Schools you fix it, you fix more. The violin stopped, kids piling in teens, small ones, clutching cases, eyes curious. Fiona waved them to seats, Trump stepping back, watching strings tuning, a drum tapped, hope humming. Mary's voice hit, and both shall row Friday dinners, her eyes teaching lift, not win. Inwood wasn't a deal, not a stage, just small, hurting, worth carrying. Claire, Baron, could he reach them? Fiona's voice broke. Tomorrow, meet parents, plan lessons. You in? Count it, he said, eyes steady. Horns, heat mine. Start small, build real. Deal, she said, violin a vow, turning to kids. He lingered, song heavy, carry two. The school pulsed, rosin, grit, possibility, worth more than any tower. Back in the sedan, Mike grinned. Maestro now, boss? Smell like wood polish. Yeah, Trump said. Radios hum warm, Mary's melody beside it. Strings are good or real stuff. Mike chuckled, pulling out. Sunk deep, done. Trump texted Lila. Inwood, horns, teachers, heat. Quiet, fast. She replied, Song King? Obsessed, done. The penthouse was warm, Melania waiting, her smile soft, tea steaming. Inwood, she said, book down, eyes sharp. Yeah, he said, sinking beside her, song humming. Met Fiona, Angus, tough, real. School's alive, kids play, heat's coming. Mom's song, mine now. Her eyes glowed, squeezing his hand. That's you, lifting, not loud. Married hum, you're real. Real, he echoed, grinning rough. The water is wide. Inwood burned, strings, hope, faces Claire, barren, unseen but worth carrying. He'd built big, gold, power, but this, small, steady, was a truth he'd hold, whispering louder than any deal he'd closed. The McLeod Music Academy shimmered under a Saturday noon sun, its brick walls catching Inwood's light as new windows gleamed where tape once held. Donald Trump stepped from the sedan. The echo of the water is wide, humming steady in his chest. Mary's voice, soft, guiding, woven tighter with each passing day. 3 days since he tuned strings with Fiona and Angus, for since the song had cracked him open, and its vow, small, real, lifting, had grown, raw and unyielding. At 79, he'd built a life that roared towers, campaigns, a name carved wide, but Inwood's heart, its kids' notes, had anchored him here, pushing him to carry, not just dream, but build. Today, he'd dive deeper, not just help, but bind. Mike parked a block over, Secret Service light, blending into Inwood's hum, no jacket today, just a gray sweater, jeans, a man moving easy in a quiet nook. The street thrummed, kids chasing a soccer ball, bakery scones scenting the air, stoops alive with chatter. He'd told Melania, it's growing, come tomorrow, and she'd nodded. Baron texting back, might visit. Dad, Claire hinting at a call soon. The academy sign lessons, all ages, was gone. Fiona's plan, new sign, new start, taking shape. He'd pushed funds hard. Lila confirmed heat fixed. Teachers hired, instruments ordered, but this was real, faces not plans, worth every restless night. He crossed the courtyard, piano keys repainted bright, and pushed the door, air shifting, rosin, polish, a drum's faint tap. The lobby buzzed, kids tuning violins, a clarinet warming up, Fiona by a whiteboard, sketching class schedules. Angus polished bagpipes, kilt crisp, eyes glinting as he spotted Trump. Donald, back for more, he said, voice thick with Glasgow's lilt. School's singing, your coins loud. Trump smirked, nodding at the whiteboard. Told you, heat, horns, done. Kids sound good, your fire. Fire's theirs, Fiona cut in, grinning, waving him over. Come, meet the spark. He followed, Fiona's whiteboard a map, violin 101, drum circle, choir, kids darting through, cases clutched tight. She led to a classroom, walls lined with posters Beethoven, Billie Holiday, a dozen teens tuning strings, eyes curious, bold. A girl, 16, braids tight, violin poised, met his gaze. You the money guy? She asked, voice sharp but warm. Yeah, Trump said, sitting near, hands up. Donald, helping out. Mom's school, Mary McLeod. You play good. Better than good, she said, grinning, bowing a quick note, clear, fierce. I'm Lena, violin's my voice. School is dead back now. You really fixing it. Fixing's my word, he said, honest. Mary's hum pulsing, carry too. Instruments, teachers, mine. What's it need? Lena's eyes lit bold. Stage, real one, lights. Concerts, folks gotta hear us. Teachers, more, not temps. Got that? Got it, Trump said, jotting mental notes. Stage, lights, teachers. Real stuff, talk to me. Fiona grinned, leaning on the door. Lena's Inwood, born here, dreams big. Got a heart tough, like Angus. Tough's life, Angus said, joining. Bagpipes down. School was light, music lifted kids. Fun's dried, light dimmed. You're sparking it serious. Dead serious, Trump said, meeting his eyes. Mom's song, the water is wide, hit me. Her place, my turn. Name it lights, lessons, done. Angus nodded, slow, like he saw past the name. All right, carry it. Kids need songs lift souls. They moved to the stage, small, creaky, curtains patched but proud. Fiona pointed, choir here, band there, a vision forming. Parents coming, tonight, planning, she said. Your funds, teachers hired, horns coming. Trust slow, Inwood's wary. Show M. Showings me, Trump said, smirking rough. Trust, hard for me too. Families drifting, Claire, barren, no calls. Like I'm singing, no chorus. Fiona's eyes softened, steady. Sing louder, they hear, even soft. You're here, carrying. Means something. He grunted, surprised, means something. Deep for a music gal, he said, grinning. Inwood's deep, she shot back, laughing. Play along, you'll learn. Lena joined, violin case swinging. You got kids, she asked, voice bold, eyes sharp. Yeah, Trump said, throat tight. Grandkid Claire, 24, West Coast. Son Baron, tech, busy. Tried calls, texts, nothing. Feels I missed chasing loud. Chasing's real, Lena said, nodding. My dad's gone worked, never saw me. You're here, trying's half. Keep it families like music, comes back. Trump's chestcot comes back. Deep for a fiddler, he said, smirking faint. Inwood's deep, Lena said, grinning fierce. School's you fix it, you fix more. The violin soared, Lena's bow dancing, kids joining, a drum kicking in, hope humming. Mary's voice hit, and both shall row Friday dinners, her eyes teaching Carrie, not win. Inwood wasn't a stage, not a deal, just small, hurting, worth rowing. Claire, Baron, could he reach them? Fiona's voice broke, tonight parents, plans. You in? Count it, he said, eyes steady. Lights, stage mine. Start small, sing real. Deal, she said, whiteboard a vow, turning to kids. He lingered, song heavy, carry too. The school pulsed notes, grit, possibility, worth more than any tower. Back in the sedan, Mike grinned. Rockstar now boss? Smell like rosin. Yeah, Trump said, melody warm, Mary's hum beside it. Strings are alive, real stuff. Mike chuckled, pulling out. Sunk deep, done. Trump texted Lila. Inwood, stage, lights, teachers. Quiet, fast. She replied, Maestro Trump? Obsessed, done. The penthouse was warm, Melania waiting, her smile soft, tea steaming. Inwood, she said, book down, eyes sharp. Yeah, he said, sinking beside her, song humming. Met Lena, kids tough, real. School's singing stage, lights. Mom's song, mine now. Her eyes glowed, squeezing his hand. That's you, carrying, not loud. Married sing, you're real. Real, he echoed, grinning rough. The water is wide. Inwood burned notes, hope, faces Claire, barren, unseen but worth carrying. He'd built big, gold, power, but this, small, steady, was a truth he'd hold, whispering louder than any deal he'd closed. The MacLeod Music Academy glowed warm under a Sunday evening sky, its brick walls catching Inwood's dusk as strings and drums spilled through open windows, a melody alive and bold. Donald Trump stood in the courtyard. The echo of the water is wide, humming deep in his chest. Mary's voice, soft, guiding now a vow woven into this night. For days since Lena's fierce violin, 5 since the song had cracked him open, and its truth, small, real, lifting, had grown, raw and steady, a fire he'd carry always. At 79, he'd built a life that roared, towers, campaigns, a name carved wide, but Inwood's heart, its kid songs, had reshaped him, not to shine, but to share. Tonight, the school reopened, and he was here not for applause, but to sing. Mike parked nearby, Secret Service light, blending into the crowd, no tie, just a navy shirt, jeans, a man among neighbors. Inwood buzzed, kids darting with glow sticks, bakery trays passed on stoops, laughter weaving through the air. He'd told Melania, "It's ours, come," and she was inside, Baron there too, his first visit in months, Claire texting, flying in, "Grandpa." The Academy's sign, MacLeod Music Academy, gleamed new, Fiona's vision. Start fresh, sing loud. He'd pushed funds hard, Lila confirmed stage built, teachers paid, horns shining, but this was real, voices not plans, worth every doubt he'd faced. He stepped in, the lobby alive, mural bright, fiddles and flutes blazing color, kids tuning, parents chatting. Fiona darted through, scarf swapped for a green dress, her smile fierce. "Donald, made it," she said, eyes glowing. "Listen, school's singing. Your stage, lit." He grinned, nodding at the crowd, teens with violins, elders with coffees, hope humming. "Told you lights, teachers, done. Your spark, good fire." "Fires us," she said, laughing, pulling him toward the stage. "Come, Angus is waiting." The auditorium pulsed, chairs packed, a new stage gleaming, curtains rich, lights soft but bold. Angus stood by a piano, kilt crisp, bagpipes down, shaking hands. He spotted Trump, grin wide. "Mary's boy, school's alive." She'd hum, "Your mark." Trump's chest tightened, "Your mark." "Not mine, ours," he said. "Honest, song warm, carry too." Mom started. Inwood finished. "Kids sound good." "Magic," Angus said, eyes sharp. 10 teachers, violins, drums, choir. Lena's leading, see her. He pointed. A girl, braids tight, bowing fierce, notes soaring. "Hope's back, you carried it." "Carried it," Trump echoed, smirking faint. "Stage, horns, yours too. Worth it." "Everything," Angus said, clapping his shoulder. "You showed," lifted souls. Fiona tugged him to the stage, lights warm, a mic ready. "Song," she said, eyes daring. "Folks want to hear real, not loud." He paused, Mary's hum burning, and both shall row. He'd built loud rallies, deals, but here, Inwood's pulse, kids' strings, parents' nods, was real, worth more than gold. Claire called last night. "I'm coming, love you." Baron stood close, proud. "Dad." He tried, texts, calls, and they heard, slow, steady. "The water is wide." This was it, not his name, but there's a boat for 2, for all. He took the mic, crowd hushing, faces turning, Fiona, Angus, Lena, Melania glowing, Baron near, Claire's plane landing soon. "Inwood," he said, voice low, steady, no script, just him. "My mom, Mary MacLeod, sang here, 40s. The water is wide, her song about carrying, not winning. Built big, towers, campaigns, thought that's real. Missed it, small's truth." The room stilled, eyes steady, kids, neighbors, Inwood's soul. "Fiona, Angus, Lena, you built this, he said, voice catching. Lights mine, stage 2, but music's ours. Kids play, folks dream in woods wide, not deep. Mom'd sing, you're her truth. He paused, throat tight, then soft, the water is wide, I cannot get o'er. His voice rough, no polish, but true, Lena's violin joining, Angus's pipes low, the crowd swaying. A cheer broke, soft, then fierce, hands clapping, kids whooping. Fiona hugged him, eyes wet, Angus nodding, Lena bowing, trouble, good trouble. Melania's hand found his, Baron's grin warm, you did it, Dad. The band soared, drums, strings, hope no longer faint. Trump stepped back, Mary's song pulsing, carry too. He'd meant it, not gold, but this, voices, dreams, worth every cracked note. Years later, Inwood would sing school-packed, kids touring, Lena's violin global. Claire settled near, weekly coffees, her laugh his win. Baron built tech for lessons closer, real. Trump would walk Inwood, Fiona's arm linked, Angus's pipes echoing, good trouble, Donald, and they'd stay, lifting songs, steady, real. Papers called it Trump's truth, not campaigns, but Inwood, a purpose not his alone. But that Sunday, he stood, Melania close, Baron near, the school humming, worth everything. He slipped outside, dusk soft, Inwood alive. A kid, 12, clarinet case, swinging, ran up. Mister, heard you sing. I'm playing, gonna be big. Trump knelt, grinning rough. You're big, play loud. The kid beamed, darting off, Inwood's hum wrapping him, strings, laughter, hope. He held the song, the water is wide, Mary's voice steady, real. Carry too. He'd built it, not gold, but this, and it carried, whispering louder than any deal he'd closed. What did you think of Donald's story? Drop your thoughts below, rate it 0 to 10. Tell us what hit you hardest. When's the last time a sound, song, voice, memory pulled you somewhere new? Share it with us. What's your melody moment? Keep this going because sometimes the quiet carries everything.